And today, at this moment, we are celebrating a risen Son who loves you.
I chose a biblical preaching doctorate because preaching is what I do. I would not be a pastor if I could not preach. A doctorate in biblical preaching is a practical degree where you earn the degree as you're practicing your preaching.
I'm a solo pastor. I lead the congregation in all aspects of ministry, particularly preaching. And to preach every week is a joy and a challenge. To be continually focused on how I can do that better is very important to me. I would highly recommend the Luther Doctorate of Ministry in Biblical Preaching. I think it's a way to set aside time to focus on something that we love and hold dear and aspire to improve upon every week.
One of the aspects that really caught my attention was this idea about biblical imagination, that as people of faith we should be able to use Scripture to help interpret our lives and find our place, our story in the midst of God's story. And one of the core questions that I ask myself now is, as I'm looking through the text, as I'm preparing to preach on Sunday, am I using the Scripture just to get to a means to an end, or is Scripture actually informing then how we live our lives?
The professors I've had have been extremely supportive. One of the joys is to receive that encouragement. They know what it's like to be serving in a congregation and what a holy calling it is. Many
of the co-teachers and the elective leaders are from outside the Lutheran tradition, which has been a real benefit for me, having a much wider variety of voices that I've been exposed to during the program.
The bottom line is, if you take the material seriously, if you do the coursework, if you take your thesis project seriously and complete the program, when you're done, you won't be the preacher you were at the beginning of it. And that will have a benefit to those who are listening to you, because you're going to be a more relevant, effective communicator of the gospel.